Another big one that people told me they wanted to get removed was trash cans. And I'm glad, because I hadn't thought about that one until I realized when they said that. I'm like, wow, how many times have I removed trash cans? Trash cans can really kill a shot. Take a look at our shot here from a beautiful park in Paris, the Luxembourg Gardens, and awful trash cans and a couple of birds. The birds don't really bother me unless they don't look like birds. If birds look like birds, these just look like brown spots in the grass. So we'll get rid of those. But the bigger problem is, of course, the trash can. So let's work on that. Let's get the lasso tool, or actually let's go right to the, well, let's try the lasso tool. Put a lasso around it. Now, you know what my first line of defense would be for something large is, so let's go try content aware fill first. Let's see how that works. All right, content aware fill. Fill, content aware. If it doesn't work, we can always undo it. It's not great. It's not awful, but I mean, I guess you could just, let's try this. I guess you could kind of make the best of this by getting the clone stamp tool and try to continuing down the tree a bit, I guess. That's not so bad. And then you want to, let's maybe move over here to kind of get rid of some of this stuff. And then continue the tree down a little further. I guess you could kind of hack through that. I'm going to undo all those. I think there's a better way. Let's try the patch tool. And let's move the patch tool down to this tree over here. And see, how's this tree look here? Well, that tree's not bad at all, but it's really close to the same tree. So let's try this one. That's what I was thinking. Maybe we'll move a little further away. We'll move up a little bit. How's that look right? There, let go. Hey, that's not bad now. That's not bad at all. So we kind of borrowed a little piece of this tree, moved it down here. I think you probably have to maybe use the clone stamp tool right back here just to kind of get rid of that little spill from the other tree, but that's not bad. And usually you want to just make a little bit of a clone in here so it doesn't look so obvious that it's from the other tree. But boom, your garbage can's gone. I think that's pretty good. And then you move down to the next tree and you would basically do the same thing. Let's select that trash can. Wow, that's really ugly, right? And see if there's a place we can move it. So it has to be between trees, right? So right there maybe, right there. Let go, and not bad. You got a little bit of mess you got to clean up in here. Here's how we're going to do it, because that's messy. First, let's fix the tree. Get a small brush. Easy enough, because there's a little weird gap there. Click, and let's just a couple of clicks. All right, that's not bad, but you have this mess in here. We're going to go and use a different selection tool, the quick selection tool. We're going to make it really small. What I like about this tool is you paint with it and it selects what's inside. Give it a second. See how it fit right in there? And it looks like there's a person walking over here. They shouldn't be in our shot. Okay, now we can go over to this walkway and paint. We don't have to worry about painting on the tree because we made a selection first, right? Then let's paint on this wall, and let's put this wall over this person. Sorry, I know it's cruel. And then let's put it over these bars and copy these bars over here. See where my cursor is? And in a few seconds, we're pretty much in business. We're going to have to fix that a little bit. Yeah, maybe that bar shouldn't have been there, right? So that wasn't maybe my best move. Let's undo that and leave that selection in place, and let's undo that last part. And instead, let's choose the bar that's right close over here so it connects with that other bar. There we go. That's better, boys and girls. All right, so that you would never know. Hey, that was a pretty good patch there. Wait a minute. Did it cut off some of the tree here? I think it did. That's okay. That's the clone stamp is best for. Covering stuff. Boom, done. Now, I would definitely, young lovers, leave them, but half of a guy over here is not good, and neither is the garbage can next to him. So let's get rid of that garbage can. Let's see what we can do. Got a little patch tool here. And where can that go? Let's move it down here because I can see this row of little metal there. And there we go. We kind of got rid of that right there. Now, those are a little big, so I guess while it's still selected, you could go to free transform, shrink it down a little bit, but yeah, you're gonna have a problem there. So don't do that. I don't think anyone will notice, but if you really were, you could put it up on its own layer, right? So you could have that up on its own layer, just that little piece. Then you could shrink it down a little. If you were really like, oh no, it's too big, you could shrink it down a little and make it fit. There you go, that's better. Now this guy, here's what you got to do. Let's merge those two layers together. Here's what you got to do. Let's get the quick select tool and select him and the area around him. All right, not the tree. If it selects too much, hold the Option key on Mac or the Alt key on Windows to get rid of that. All right, we have that area selected where he's at, and let's get all of it. There we go. So we cannot paint outside of there. We don't have to worry about accidentally painting on the tree or anything else. Get the clone stamp tool. We're going to click on these bars over here. Let's click on these bars like right here. Go line it up with a pair of bars over here right next to him and start painting. And he's a goner. Now that looks kind of messed up. We'll fix that in a minute. Let's get this grass and go straight over, right? Actually, make sure you start on that line or we're going to have a mess. That line has to start right there. There we go. Don't want to cut those bars off. And then getting rid of the rest of him is it's child's play. Go right down here, line it up with a bar. You notice these little bars have to line up? I know, it's a pain, right? And that's not the greatest clone job. You're going to do a better job than I just did, I'm sure. We don't want that yellow stuff. Let's get more of the blue bars right there and paint over that so it's nice and clean. There you go. And when you back off, nobody would be the wiser. We got rid of the garbage cans. You got a couple more to get down. Those are easier way down there, but we got rid of the big ones. Let's look at the difference. Ooh, garbage cans and dead birds. And then they're gone. It really does make a huge difference. Now, I do want to give you a special tip. One thing that you might want to do is make a duplicate of the background layer and work on that copy, or work on a blank layer if you want on top. What that'll do is it'll always protect your bottom layer, and you can just toggle it on and toggle it off to see the original layer below it. But that way it always protects the original image. In case you make a huge disastrous mistake, you can just take that layer, drag it in the trash, and start over. So when you are doing a lot of cloning and stuff like that, it helps. Also, if you're going to use the clone tool, make sure that you've chosen the current layer and layers below to sample from, not just the layer that you're on. Because if you create a clear layer and start cloning, it will only clone on that layer. So you want to make sure it's current and